हर जनरेशन के करियर को एक टेक्नोलॉजी रीडिफाइन करती है। हमारे पेरेंट्स के लिए वो कंप्यूटर्स थे, मिलेनियल्स के लिए वो इंटरनेट और आज के स्टूडेंट्स के लिए वो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस है। नाउ आज आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस एक टेक्नोलॉजी ही नहीं रह गई है, वो डिसाइड करता है कि आगे आने वाले समय में काम कैसा होगा, बिजनेस प्रोफेशनल्स के लिए किस टाइप के स्किल्स की रिक्वायरमेंट होगी और साथ ही कंपनीज कैसे ग्रो करेंगी। इसी टॉपिक पर बात करने के लिए आज हमारे पास ऐसे गेस्ट हैं जो केवल एआई की बात ही नहीं करते बल्कि एआई ड्रिवन सॉल्यूशंस को बिल्ड करते हैं और बिजनेस को ट्रांसफॉर्म करने में हेल्प करते हैं। आई वेलकम मिस्टर अभी श्रीवास्तव। वेलकम मिस्टर अभी, who is a technopreneur, who is a researcher and also who works at the intersection of AI, automation and business transformation. I welcome Mr. Abhi Srivastava.
Thank you. Hello all. Honestly, this was never like a very straightforward journey for me. काफ़ी curiosity loops उसमें रहे हैं और I still remember my days जब मैं VIT में था और research मेरा काफ़ी पैशन रहा है रिसर्च में।
Okay.
और रिसर्च करते समय मेरा एक ही क्वेश्चन हुआ करता था कि द रीज़न व्हाई।
You were an engineering graduate.
I did my BTech from VIT University Vellore, and starting from there, instead of like building up everything from scratch, मेरा पहला क्वेश्चन ये होता था कि मैं ये कर क्यों रहा हूँ।
Okay.
That was my first question. मेरी जर्नी रिसर्च से शुरू होकर के it ended up as a business owner and a corporate entrepreneur. बीच में काफ़ी ups and downs, highs and lows रहे हैं। First internship I did from research side, starting from Indian Institute of Sciences, moving to DRDO, then Siemens, and then National University of Singapore. Then after coming back to India, research motive same था, different countries थी, but at the end result, end goal was still there. The reason why I'm doing this.
Right. The question was there.
The question was still there. And then I completed my masters from BITS Pilani and then landed up in the corporate world.
Okay.
Corporate world में और research में there is a very small difference. हम research में जब हम उतरते हैं, when we do the research, we take it a model in a very controlled environment. But जब हम practical corporate में आते हैं, corporate में we take into the consideration कि हम ये कर रहे हैं तो मार्केट में क्यों कर रहे हैं और किस लिए कर रहे हैं। अगर हमारा मॉडल कोई वायबल प्रोडक्ट नहीं है तो वो रिसर्च सिर्फ एक पीस ऑफ पेपर बन के रह जाता है।
And this is the problem in India. Sometimes it so happens that you're not able to continue sustain it because वो अगर piece of work concept के फॉर्म में रह जाता है तो I think रिसर्च नहीं हो पाता है वो प्रॉपर।
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
All right. So you know मैं हर रोज़ ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स के साथ डील करती हूँ या इंटरेक्ट करती रहती हूँ जो हमेशा अपने करियर को फिगर आउट करने की कोशिश करते रहते हैं। एंड जब मैंने आपकी जर्नी अभी सुनी कि आप एक इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट थे, फिर आपने रिसर्च किया, कॉर्पोरेट में गए एंड देन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, तो आई ऑलवेज वंडर कि क्या कभी आपने अपने आप को लॉस्ट या अनश्योर या डिलेमा में फील किया? क्योंकि मुझे पता है कि चीज़ें सेटल हुई बट बिफोर थिंग्स एक्चुअली स्टार्टेड falling into the place, did you have that kind of feeling कि you were in dilemma?
Of course, and I don't sugarcoat on that.
Yeah.
जब मैं साइंटिस्ट के पद पे था नेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ सिंगापुर में और जब मैं अपना कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड में आया, I was still the scientist there.
Right.
I'm sailing onto the two boat at the same time. तो मेरे लिए काफ़ी टफ सिचुएशन था कि मैं किस साइड मूव करूं, and it was definitely a place to be in today's era, right? We called it that be the masters of all but jacks of none. But mere according and in this transformations which is going on, like the AI transformations, I believe be the jacks of all and just masters of none. So right. Even if the student is in dilemma और वो अगर किसी और situations में है कि यहाँ पे जाएं या in which direction the student should move, I think that's a part of life.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens, that's a part of life. If you are stuck, take some guidance from your seniors, from your parents or from any of the career counselors, but don't stop.
Yeah.
If you're stopping, then you are, making your loss.
And I think it helps us in realizing that yes, I am stuck somewhere because I have a lot of opportunities. I am exploring. I am into a phase of exploration. So to some extent it is good. But yes, of course, we need to get the direction, right?
Of course. And बिना explore किए कुछ achieve नहीं हो सकता.
अभी आपने research institutions, startups and KPMG, CBRE जैसे organizations में काम किया. Looking back, इन अलग अलग एक्सपीरियंसेस ने टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज करके बिजनेस प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व करने के आपके खुद के अप्रोच को कैसे शेप अप किया?
Let me divide it into 3 parts. पहला आता है आपका रिसर्च एक्सपीरियंस, दूसरा आता है आपका कॉर्पोरेट एक्सपीरियंस, और तीसरा आता है आपका एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप एक्सपीरियंस, योर बिजनेस एक्सपीरियंस. If we talk explicitly about research experience
and use of technology also,
yes, definitely. Research experience, all the 3 gives you 3 different muscles. और उस 3 muscles को किस तरीके से हम यूज करेंगे वो हम लोग को ये डिफाइन कराता है कि हम किस तरीके से अपनी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग स्किल्स को और एनहांस कर सकते हैं यूजिंग द टुडेज वर्ल्ड टेक्नोलॉजी. रिसर्च में ये हम सीखते हैं कि हाउ टू बी पेशेंस एंड हाउ टू narrow down and dive deep inside the problem statements.
Correct.
Inside our corporate, we learn कि हमारे जो stakeholders होते हैं, हमारे जितने भी different languages हैं, हम उस एक problem statement को कितने time scale up कर सकते हैं. And the third one is your entrepreneurship skills, which teaches us the velocity. अगर हम आज के time पे if you're not running or if our velocity is very low, right, less, तो हम उस चीज़ को compete नहीं कर सकते market में. Now talking about how the technologies I have used to cater the things inside the market. To answer that point, I use a blend of all the 3 muscles.
Right.
And I first look at the problem statement and then look at which technology suits best to solve that problem inside the market. Okay.
Right.
For instance, I won't say every problem could be solved by AI. I just start with the first approach that if it is solved using the full stack or if it is solved with the only if-else conditions or simple automation, I will go with that. So it all depends upon how how you're carving out the problem statements. Using which technology would be the step 2.
I think this is very nicely you have explained, because you'll have to find out that in what should be the approach while solving the problem. AI is not always the solution.
Exactly.
Right. Very good. थैंक यू. अच्छा, अभी बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स को लगता है कि टेक्निकल नॉलेज होना ही काफ़ी है, बट आपको किस पॉइंट पर रियलाइज़ हुआ कि टेक्नोलॉजी को समझने के साथ साथ बिजनेस के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू को भी समझना उतना ही इम्पोर्टेंट है या इवन ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है?
Okay, well, let me answer this in a different way, using my own personal experience.
Right.
So when I started my career, I always had an entrepreneurship mindset in me. I built something really cool, which I found like it could be a very viable product in the market. But when I pitched into the stakeholders, तो stakeholders का पहला opinion था कि भाई this is not solving my purpose. It's not catering to the industrial need, and I'm unable to generate any revenue out of that. So my first impression was that a technology a failure. But then I realized that no, the technology is not a failure.
You had the knowledge.
I had the knowledge, but I didn't cater it in a different way such that it would enhance or boost up the revenue for the business.
Correct.
So the mindset here needs to be that we need to think the business's definition of success first before going on to the technology approach. We shouldn't do the other way around. We should first look at the business success revenue model and then use the technology to cater that need.
I think you are right, because recently we have had some placement drives also. In that also, the students were, obviously they were assessed for their technical knowledge, but ultimately they were given some use cases, some business problems, and there they failed. Many of the students, they failed. I think that you have given this idea that obviously every technical aspect is interconnected with the business aspect, so they have to understand that. So it is equally important or more important? So according to you, it is more important.
Of course, it is.
Yeah, it is more important.
Indeed a very important aspect.
Yeah, it is actually the implementation part of the technical knowledge that you have.
Exactly.
Right? All right, thank you. मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है अभी कि किस चीज़ ने आपको इंस्पायर किया कि आप एक ट्रेडिशनल टेक्निकल रोल से आगे बढ़ें और AI, ऑटोमेशन और इवन बिजनेस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन जैसे रोल्स को एक्सप्लोर करें?
Okay. मैं इसमें अपना एक रियल वर्ल्ड एग्जांपल देता हूँ जो मैंने खुद एक्सपीरियंस किया है. I was in Bangalore. मैं फ्रीलांसिंग कर रहा था.
Okay.
And I went to one hospital, and there they had this problem statement of scanning and data entry of the patients.
Okay.
Data entry of the patients' data basically. हम लोग जब patient
day to day जो पूरा
OPD में जाते हैं तो we fill up a form
Right.
and those forms needs to be entered into the system manually by the person. So I was exploring this opportunity, and those days were like very start of my career. और मैं company और rather hospital के CEO से मिला, और I have proposed him one solution.
Okay.
Like instead of entering the data manually one by one, let's use UiPath.
Okay.
आप UiPath से आप सारा डेटा को फोटोज क्लिक करिए and then upload it onto the system. I can provide you with the system. I can build the events and everything from the scratch for you, and upload the data, and it would automatically be fed inside the system using UiPath.
Right.
So that was my. From there onwards, I started exploring much about different tools.
You took inspiration from that.
I took inspiration from that, looking at the people. They are doing like repeated tasks, and they have some patterns to it.
Right.
If they have patterns, those could be automated easily.
Right.
And from there onwards, the automation came into picture in my life. From automation, it went to intelligent automation using some machine learning algorithms. And now we have LLMs, which is the advanced version of AI.
Right.
So that was my journey from moving traditional way of data entry modules to kind of automate certain things, then moving to AI, intelligent automation, and then the final AI innovations.
And ultimately, it went into the business transformation.
Eventually it does.
Yeah. Okay. अगर आज कोई स्टूडेंट ग्रेजुएशन के बाद ये डिसाइड नहीं कर पा रहा है कि वो जॉब करे, MNC ज्वाइन करे, या रिसर्च करे, या अपना खुद का स्टार्टअप स्टार्ट करे, तो आपके हिसाब से उसे किस तरह से ये डिसीजन लेना चाहिए, किस बेसिस पर ये डिसीजन ले लेना चाहिए?
Well, very thoughtful question. इसको मैं 3 parts में divide करता हूँ.
Okay.
First one, you have mentioned a research, higher studies, or a job in a corporate world. And the third one is being a sales businessman or an entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
All the 3 has their own different energies. If I talk about research, research में उन बच्चों को जाना चाहिए जिनके अंदर those who feel they have a desire for the in-depth research.
And patience also.
And patience, definitely. A patience, a desire for in-depth research. Those students should opt for higher studies, even for masters and for PhDs.
Even I guide them that if you do not think that you need instant money, or you don't have the desire or need to earn money immediately, then you can go for it, because it requires a lot of time. Long-term commitment is also required.
I feel there is no such thing of instant money. Like shortcuts of making money is like a scam. So,
right.
All right. And the second part is going for the corporate world, which is very easy. You get the traditional way of learning how the things work, the structured way of utilizing your time and money and everything in learning about how the corporate things work actually. And the third one is the startups. If you think you have the velocity, if you think you have the speed and the zeal to do certain things, right, go for the startups. Startups में ये benefits भी होते हैं कि आपको early age में you can take the risk. आप startups करिए join, and then you have the energy to do multiple roles, because startup में आपका एक defined role नहीं होता है. You have to do multiple roles at a time.
Right.
Whereas in the traditional corporate job, you have the defined role, जिसमें आप अपने आप को एक comfortable position में ले आकर के आप move करते हो. And for research, you should have the zeal to go in depth knowledge and do the patient's work. I would say none of the 3 is a bad option, but students should not fight against their natural instinct. वो बच्चे को खुद डिसाइड करना होता है that what is his natural instinct, and he should not restrict and fight against his natural instincts. If he feels like, hey, I'm very good in accepting multiple roles, I think go for it, right? Go for startups. But as per my experience and my understanding, I think students should first go for learning curves, should go and join either startups or corporate world, so that his learning curve is increased and he knows how the industries work actually before investing anything in the business or in any kind of entrepreneurship activities.
Very true, very true. Because I also keep guiding all the students, because I know that sometimes they take the psychometric assessment or self-awareness ideal career test in order to know that where do they stand and what is there actually that you were talking about, the natural instinct or the desire. And then sometimes I have seen that the students join the company, they start working in a company or organization, and then they come up with some ideas so that they can start their own business. So this is how they can go ahead. But yes, you nicely said that understanding the learning curves are very important. I think this is the most important thing that they should go for, and then later on they can decide.
Of course.
अब बात करते हैं उस टॉपिक की जिसका डिस्कशन हर जगह हो रहा है, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस. सो स्टूडेंट्स हो, कंपनीज हो या गवर्नमेंट हो, हर कोई एआई की ही बात कर रहा है. लेकिन जितना ज़्यादा आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की बात हो रही है, उतना ही ज़्यादा कन्फ्यूजन्स भी हो रहे हैं. अभी आप एआई को सिर्फ एक कॉन्सेप्ट की तरह नहीं देखते हो, बल्कि आप उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करते हो, यूज़ करते हो बिजनेस ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन में, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने में. सो लेट्स ब्रेक द हाइप एंड कम टू द रियलिटी. आज एआई ऑलमोस्ट हर इंडस्ट्रीज़ को बहुत तेज़ी से ट्रांसफॉर्म कर रही है. लेकिन आप जो ग्राउंड लेवल पर देखते हो, उस हिसाब से बिजनेसेस के लिए एआई सबसे ज़्यादा एग्जैक्टली कहाँ पर इम्पैक्ट कर रहा है, किस एरियाज़ में एआई का इम्पैक्ट ज़्यादा हो रहा है?
Talking about this, right? I mean, AI is impacting more towards decision-making capacities now. For instance, we have built certain robots, certain bots, which have the capabilities to take the decisions, but ultimate authorities and ultimate decision definitely gonna be taken by the humans. But AI evaluations, AI recommendations, AI basic decisions are gonna be took by the AI bots. Education industry में, if I talk about the industry sector wise,
Right.
education industry में अभी सबसे ज़्यादा impact AI का देखने को मिलेगा, where AI agents would be mentoring the students, taking up the mock interviews or maybe taking up the AI interviews. Hiring processes भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा AI से होंगे, जो कि hiring agencies के लिए use होगा, taking the first round of interviews. So basically, hiring to mentorship and hiring to education, ये एक ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हम लोगों को बहुत मैसिव लेवल पे देखने को मिल सकता है एआई से.
राइट. उसके अलावा आई थिंक हेल्थ केयर सिस्टम्स में भी इसका इम्पैक्ट पड़ रहा है.
डेफिनेटली हेल्थ केयर में जो नेक्स्ट अनटच्ड था और जो कि अभी बहुत रिसेंटली हेल्थ केयर में भी आने वाला है, दैट वुड बी इमेजिंग. रेडियोलॉजी डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ द मेडिकल साइंसेज इज गोना बी वन बिग शिफ्ट बाय द एआई.
राइट. अभी आपने बहुत सारे रियल वर्ल्ड यूज केसेस देखे होंगे. क्या कोई ऐसा यूज केस है जिसने आपको भी सरप्राइज कर दिया हो, समथिंग पीपल वुडंट एक्सपेक्ट एआई टू बी केपेबल ऑफ?
Definitely. I come from the coding background. Or recently what happened, not recently, it's been quite a long time. AI Claude Code launch हुआ. Claude ने अपना एक Claude Code launch किया, जिसमें if we can integrate Claude Code with Visual Studio Code, it would help you to write the code itself. और वो सारी चीज़ें without much of the errors, वो एक आपके लिए complete end-to-end app बना देगा within like couple of minutes. That was like something, a benchmark or out of the box discovery which I have never seen else before. I have never thought like AI से आप अपना एक खुद का ऐप बना सकते हैं within fraction of minutes. And that's the point, and that's even more scary because वो आपके सोचने की क्षमता, वो आपके इंटेलिजेंस को ख़त्म कर देता है. You cannot go beyond your limits. Then you have to take care of and be in line with what AI thinks. आप अपनी क्रिएटिविटी एंड इमेजिनेशन को आप कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर देते हैं उस टाइम पे.
अभी बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स ऐसे होते हैं जो मैकेनिकल या इलेक्ट्रिकल या इवन कंप्यूटिंग बैकग्राउंड से होते हैं. तो अगर कोई कंप्यूटर साइंस बैकग्राउंड से नहीं है, तो इस एआई ड्रिवन फ्यूचर में उसके लिए अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ कहाँ हैं? हम उसको कैसे गाइड कर सकते हैं?
Okay, so this is the myth which I want to burst here. In today's era, I think a domain knowledge is must to have. If a student is having the domain knowledge, he is an outlier now. Because we have seen the transformations happening today. AI ने almost सारी चीज़ों को automate कर दिया है. There are very less places, or I would say no industry is untouched with AI.
Correct.
So आने वाले 5 सालों में coders won't be something which is highly required, but in that case, a domain expertise with a little hands-on experience onto the tools and those who know how the technologies work, not at a very superficial level, would be the big impact game. So instead of going behind the codings, instead of going behind or running behind the, reinventing the wheels all over again, I would say stick to your basics, be the experts in your domain, have some hands-on and training knowledge on AI, you would be an outlier then.
Perfect. This is very right knowledge that you have given today, because I met a few individuals who were from mechanical engineering background. And yes, of course, domain knowledge was very important. So they were having expertise in that area. They worked in different steel companies or something like that. But yes, they shifted their mindset or inclination towards the technology area also. Like they worked in automation, they brought automation into their work, and in that way they helped the businesses or the companies for the transformation.
Exactly. And just to add on, the fluency in AI won't be writing the codes, won't be executing the AI engineering code or architectures of it, but it would be the asking the right question from the AI agents.
अभी क्या आप कोई ऐसा एग्जाम्पल शेयर कर सकते हैं जहां सबको लगा हो कि AI ही सोल्यूशन है, लेकिन एक्चुअली बेस्ट सोल्यूशन AI नहीं बल्कि कुछ और, या इवन बहुत सिंपल चीज़ रही हो? ऐसा कोई एक्सपीरियंस आपका रहा हो?
डेफिनेटली काफ़ी जूनियर एम्प्लॉयज़ आते हैं मेरे पास, एंड दे कम अप विद देयर प्रॉब्लम्स कि सर ये रिकमेंडेशन काम नहीं कर रहा है, वी नीड अ सोफिस्टिकेटेड AI सिस्टम फॉर दैट. और at times मैं convince होता हूँ, but before any further actions, I go and look at the code, look at the data underlying, and try to see like where the gap is. So 90% of the time मुझे ये मिलता है कि the underlying data is messy. So we have the term in data science which we call it as GIGO, G-I-G-O, which means as garbage in, garbage out.
Right.
So अगर आप डंप देंगे किसी को गार्बेज में, तो वो गार्बेज ही आपको देगा. So instead of blaming every time that this function is not working, we need to first create the sophisticated data. We need to clean it, data processing, which is a very conventional method and very important method. That's where comes the basics of data science. Before jumping directly to LLMs, I would encourage everybody to go ahead and do the basics of data science. So clean your data and then look at the underlying algorithms to it. Your last approach should be the AI. First approach should be data processing, data mining, if it's been resolved using if-else condition or any kind of machine learning algorithms. If you think you need it in a way that it should require a kind of a recommendations, then I would say go for the last approach for AI. But instead of going for the direct fancy approach, look for the underlying data.
This is where we can say that human intelligence is also very important. Technology इतनी तेजी से evolve हो रही है कि हर कुछ महीनों में कोई ना कोई नया ट्रेंड आ जाता है. तो बिजनेस लीडर्स कैसे डिसाइड करते हैं कि किस ट्रेंड को फॉलो करना है?
Okay, so let me take it in a different way. Most of the leaders in corporate world, or maybe founders or co-founders, they usually ask two basic questions to themselves. The first question or the first filter is whether this AI approach or AI feature is gonna satisfy the customer's need or demands, or if it's just gonna be one good fit for their presentation or deck.
Okay.
अगर ये एक actual need को cater कर रहा है, if it's actually solving the problem, then we can adopt the AI. And the second filter, definitely this is an and condition, so both the filters needs to be in line. And the second filter is इस ट्रेंड को, जो भी वायरल हुआ है AI ट्रेंड, इस ट्रेंड को कितना टाइम हो गया है. अगर ये ट्रेंड अभी रिसेंट का है और इसको मैच्योर हुए अभी बहुत टाइम नहीं हुआ है, देन वी वेट फॉर इट्स मैच्योरिटी लेवल जस्ट टू सी कि क्या ये कहीं फॉल्स अलार्म तो नहीं था. Once it matures, once the AI proves itself in the market, then we try to adopt it. So these two filters are very much important to incorporate in any of the products for the AI.
Wonderful, very good knowledge you have given to us. All right, तो अभी तक हमने बात की AI की, हमने बात की टेक्नोलॉजी की, लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि किसी भी सक्सेसफुल करियर के पीछे इन सारी चीज़ों यानी टेक्निकल एबिलिटी एंड देन कॉर्पोरेट एक्सपीरियंस के साथ साथ एक और चीज़ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, वो है माइंडसेट. आज अगर हम एंटरप्रेन्योरियल माइंडसेट की बात करें तो सबको ये लगता है कि ये फाउंडर्स के लिए, ये स्टार्टअप स्टार्ट करने वाले लोगों के लिए होता है, बट एज पर माई ओपिनियन इट इज़ नॉट at all related to those people only. It is related to or relevant to all the professionals. Let's start with this. All right, so अभी इसी से related एक question है कि एक entrepreneurial mindset होता क्या है? अगर कोई स्टूडेंट एक्चुअली entrepreneurial mindset डेवलप करना चाहता है तो ऐसी कौन सी हैबिट है या ऐसी कौन सी प्रैक्टिस है जो वो आज से ही शुरू कर सकता है?
Okay, well, that's a very thoughtful question again. And to me, the entrepreneurial mindset shouldn't have to do anything with founding a company. If I say somebody has founded a company or somebody is a co-founder of a company, that doesn't have to be in line with the entrepreneurial mindset. So for me, entrepreneurial mindset is about taking the ownership of the things that isn't his job. For example, if something has broke, right? If something has been broken in the system, then I think what the entrepreneurial mindset would say is, how do I fix it? Instead of saying like, whose responsibility was that to fix it?
Very true.
Right? So that's in where the entrepreneurial mindset comes in. For today's generation and for the students, what I would say is, instead of just throwing out the blame games to anybody, start taking the responsibilities towards the things which you think you can solve it out. So that would be my message to all these students out there.
I think you have actually redefined the meaning of entrepreneurial mindset, because there is a lot of confusion towards this word in fact. अभी आपने प्रोडक्ट्स बिल्ड किए हैं, डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में काम किए हैं, इनोवेशन लीड किया है, तो आपके एक्सपीरियंस में एक सक्सेसफुल टेक्नोलॉजी ड्रिवन बिजनेस या सोल्यूशन बनाने के लिए सबसे ज़्यादा क्या मैटर करता है? टेक्नोलॉजी, सही लोग, या मार्केट की अंडरस्टैंडिंग?
Well, I would say the blend of all three, because तीनों ही अपने आप में एक बेस पिलर्स हैं.
राइट.
People tells you like how to do it and which direction to do it. Market tells you the understanding of why to do it, right? And the technology is something which binds the two things together.
If I have to prioritize,
if I have to choose one, then I would say market. Market valuation is the first thing and first approach we should take.
Right. So market, and then obviously people, and then comes
the technology.
Wonderful. अगर हम आज के स्टूडेंट्स की बात करें तो आपके हिसाब से ऐसी कौन से स्किल्स हैं और ऐसा कौन सा माइंडसेट है जो आज से 5 साल बाद भी उन्हें डिफरेंशिएट करेगा, उन्हें जेन्युइनली अलग रखेगा?
तो बेसिकली यहाँ पे मैं 3 स्किल्स की बात करूँगा, जिसमें 2 सॉफ्ट स्किल्स आएंगी और 1 आपकी टेक्निकल स्किल्स आएंगी. बिकॉज आज के टाइम पे इफ़ यू हैव द राइट माइंडसेट, इफ़ यू हैव द राइट क्वेश्चन टू आस्क फ्रॉम AI, it can deliver any kind of the problem solving capacities.
All right.
But the soft skills which is required cannot be inculcated by any of the AI technologies.
True.
So the first soft skill is ability to articulate the problem. That is a very, very must to have the soft skill. The second one is the cross domain knowledge. If I say like I'm good in only one domain and not good in others, but in today's world, if we see, right, I mean, a lot of people, they do have the cross domain understandings. And the third one is have some understanding of data, like the basic understandings of how the data technology works. So the blend of 3 would be the unique combination in coming future.
Wonderful. In a very structured manner, you have guided us. In fact, it would be very helpful to all the students who have this kind of query, like what kind of skills should they develop. So thank you so much for giving me this right approach to solving this problem. Okay, let's say आप fresh graduates hire कर रहे हैं, तो रिज्यूमे देखते वक्त या इंटरव्यू लेते समय ऐसी कौन सी 3 चीज़ें होंगी जो आप सबसे पहले नोटिस करेंगे?
Well, मेरे पास काफ़ी CVs आते रहते हैं. Lot of the times हम लोग कैंपस ड्राइव में भी जाते हैं, और there are not only one specific things which I look in the CV while hiring the students, but there are collective of things. The first thing I look into it, if the student has some leadership experience which he has done even in his college or even in his school level. I do not want him to be the excel in anything, but at least some kind of a leadership initiative the person has taken, the student has taken. The second point which I look for this CV, look for the students in CV is what kind of projects the students have done. Was this like a school project? Was it more towards like a self-learning projects? That gives me a good idea about what level of efforts the student is making to compete in the market with the new technologies. And last but not the least, how well he has presented his CV. Those are the couple of pointers which I look before shortlisting any first candidate.
So amongst these, you have mentioned leadership experience, projects, and then presenting the CV. You haven't noticed, at first instance, you haven't noticed the technology part. So is this true that the recruiters generally, at first they go for these and then go ahead with that?
No, that's not the conventional way. A lot of recruiters, they first look at the keywords in which he has, in the technologies which he has worked upon. If the CV is coming to me, that means he has already passed the recruiter's first round of test, right? If it's coming to me, that means he is in line with the technology we're looking for.
Very rightly said, because he has passed that level, crossed that level. That's why you are focusing upon these areas.
Upon these
and
areas.
in general, recruiters do the same.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, thank you. अच्छा, आज टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी तेजी से बदल रही है कि स्टूडेंट्स ओवरवेल्म्ड फील करने लगते हैं. तो ऐसे केस में आप स्टूडेंट्स को क्या एडवाइस देना चाहेंगे?
स्टूडेंट्स से मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा, डोंट चेज द टूल्स. आप नए मार्केट में जो टूल्स आए हैं उसको चेज मत करिए, बिकॉज द टूल्स विच वी आर सीइंग इन टुडे, राइट, इट माइट चेंज द नेक्स्ट डे, because there are multiple tools which are coming and going, but I would say clear and be strong with your fundamentals. Even if you know the basics and the very much in-depth understanding of the data, chasing the tools won't make sense. For instance, for example, recently एक बच्चा मेरे पास आया, उसने कहा कि सर मैं कौन सा टूल सीखूं. मैंने उस बच्चे से कहा कि भाई instead of directly going into the tool, तुम मेरे 3 questions का आंसर करो. I've asked him like a couple of data science related questions. My first question was, how would you impute the data if it has an outlier in it? So the student couldn't answer. So my first opinion was, learn the basics, because tools एक जरिया है आपको डेटा क्लीन करने का. वो सारे टूल्स वही काम करेंगे जो आपकी बेसिक्स अंडरस्टैंडिंग होगी. डेटा इम्प्यूटेशन ऑल्ट्रिक्स भी करता है, नाइन भी करता है, सवांट भी करता है. अगर आपको डेटा इम्प्यूटेशन की बेसिक्स पता है तो आप कोई सा भी टूल्स विद इन 2 weeks ऑफ टाइम फ्रेम में आप सीख सकते हैं.
Okay, one more question. What do you think about the AI revolution? How does it look like to you?
That's a very valid question in this time. Why? Because we should know the history, how AI has landed at the situation where it is right now. So let me give you some examples, or maybe give you my real life experience here. When I was in NUS, National University of Singapore, and I was doing a research, I was reading one article, and that article was, or maybe the paper was published by one of the renowned scientists from Oxford. And that paper describes how this revolution came into effects and how it has transformed the entire world. So the first revolution, if we recall it, it was Industrial Revolution. And the second one was something computer revolution, and then came the digital revolution. After digitalizing most of the things, we have the data.
Right.
Once we have digitalized everything, we have the data in one central repositories. People started training that data and using the statistical models and different machine learning algorithms. We have come up with certain machine learning models, which we call it as AI ML models right now. And I still recall those days when I used to build those machine learning models myself using the data science and data analytics techniques, like for pre-processing, and then building the AI ML models using AI like ML and deep learning algorithms. Right. So that paper has told me about the transformations which are happening, and that paper also describes about how we have landed up to this AI revolution, what we are in right now. And the next revolution which was described in that research paper was the robotics.
Okay.
which we are seeing the transformations. We are seeing the bots coming in.
Yeah.
We have seen, physical, tangible bots which acts like a human. But that paper has given me a very good insights, and that's still imprinted in my mind that there will be a reversal in coming future. I don't know what that future looks like.
Yeah.
May it be 5 years down the line, or may it be 10 years down the line. But there would definitely be a point in which the reversal would start happening. From robotics, we would move back to the AI. From AI, we might move back to digital. So this kind of a revolution was mentioned in that research paper, which I still cannot forget. But let's see how long and when does this happen.
So the reversal part was already mentioned over there.
Yes, the reversal part was mentioned in there.
तो अगर हम आज से 10 साल आगे देखें तो AI और इनोवेशन को लेकर ऐसी कौन सी चीजें जो आपको सबसे ज्यादा एक्साइट करती है?
Well, AI ने बहुत drastically और within very less period of time AI बहुत revolve किया है.
Right.
बहुत ज़्यादा evolution AI में देखने को मिला है हमें. So 10 years down the line, the things which would fascinate me the most is how this AI technology could be used by underprivileged students or maybe underprivileged categories in India. Because AI की costing बहुत high है. AI uses GPU at the back end. It uses huge amount of data center capacities. So my only which I'm excited about AI next innovation is how AI could be accessible to the underprivileged people and how it could be used as a less cost-effective way.
So Avi, before we end this podcast, let's do something very interesting that would be very helpful for our students as well. मैं students के कुछ common fears बोलूँगी और आपको हर fear के लिए एक ही बात बोलनी होगी, एक simple statement आपको देना होगा. First, fear of being behind.
Behind whom? Students, compare yourself with your past. Everybody is running their own race, so don't compare.
Second, fear of the wrong college or background.
Your college gives you the first opportunity. Every opportunity after that is the one you create yourself.
Fear that AI will replace them.
AI won't replace anyone who would start utilizing the AI tools. It would replace those who won't learn anything out of it.
Next, fear of failure if they try something bold.
Failure is a data point, not an identity. Treat it as a feedback, but not as a verdict.
Last fear that they don't know where to start.
Okay, if you don't know where to start anywhere. Direction is found in motion, not while standing still.
तो आज की कन्वर्सेशन से मैं चाहती हूँ कि हर बच्चा एक बात अपने साथ लेकर ज़रूर जाए. Avi's journey did not start perfectly, but it started curiously. उनके पास शायद हर सवाल का जवाब नहीं था, but उनके पास डायरेक्शन ज़रूर थी. और मुझे लगता है कि हर बच्चे के पास, हर स्टूडेंट के पास ये होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. आपको आज ही अपनी पूरी लाइफ फिगर आउट करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. The best and the most important part is that you have to understand where do you stand. राइट, आज आप कहाँ हो और अगले 5 साल बाद अपने आप को आप कहाँ देखना चाहते हो, दैट इज़ मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट. उस गैप को कम करने के लिए आज ही से एक स्टेप लीजिए. नॉट नेक्स्ट सेमेस्टर, नॉट नेक्स्ट मंडे, फ्रॉम टुडे इटसेल्फ. आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस का ये टाइम किसी के लिए वेट नहीं करेगा, लेकिन अगर आप आज ही से सीखना और नॉलेज को इम्प्लीमेंटेशन लेवल पर बिल्ड करना शुरू कर देते हैं तो ज़रूर ही आपका ये करियर जर्नी बहुत ही एक्साइटिंग होने वाला है. सो अभी थैंक यू सो मच फॉर शेयरिंग योर नॉलेज, योर एक्सपीरियंशियल जर्नी एंड ऑनेस्ट इनसाइट्स. अपनी ऑडियंस के लिए जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं अभी जो हमारा कन्वर्सेशन देख रहे हैं, उनको आप पीस ऑफ एडवाइस देना चाहेंगे तो ज़रूर आप शेयर करिए.
डेफिनेटली थैंक यू एवरीवन. एंड एक मेरा पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस जो इस जर्नी में मेरे साथ हमेशा रहा है वो है कॉन्फिडेंस. आप जो भी काम करें, बी कॉन्फिडेंट, बी वोकल, एंड एटलीस्ट टेक वन स्टेप अहेड and never compare yourself with anyone. Always compare yourself with your past.
All right, so thank you so much, dear students. Keep learning, keep growing, and if you have any questions after this conversation, please drop in the comment section.